Talk about girl power. All right, from the winningest snowboarder to a fellow who made a name for himself as a ski jumper, we're talking about Eddie the Eagle Edwards. The real-life fellow was a world favorite in the 1988 Olympics in the notoriously bad sport. Here we are almost 30 years later, and his story has hit the big screen. Our own Tony Gonzalez sat down with Taron Egerton and Hugh Jackman to talk about their new movie out in theaters.
For as long as I can remember, it has been my ambition to become an Olympian.
Yes! Eddie, you are not an athlete!
Don't tell Eddie that, and certainly not when it comes to ski jumping.
Britain hasn't had a ski jumper since 1929.
I'm going to be a ski jumper.
Never mind the fact that Eddie just picked up that sport, or the fact that he's had absolutely no training. No, none of that mattered to him.
The time to start jumping is when you're 5 or 6.
He was a bit of an underdog, kind of oblivious to the fact that he had no idea how much he was taking on. Can you guys point to a personal story in your own careers that was, you kind of had the same oblivious, make it or break it, do or die?
Esther and I were quite nervous about making this film with, you know,
yeah,
with
it's
you,
true.
Obviously.
That was a triple take, I think.
You want your moment, Eddie? You gotta do this for real.
For Oscar nominee Hugh Jackman, his moment was the night the Academy Awards came calling.
I remember getting the phone call for the Oscars, to host the Oscars about 1 o'clock in the morning, and I kind of said, yeah, sure. And then I sat there like, what?
What did I just say yes to?
Well, you know, I'm a kid from the suburbs of Australia, probably the same, and you know, we watch the Oscars and all that, and I was, yeah, love it. And then, of course, it dawns on you that, hang on, this is Bob Hope, Billy Crystal, I have no business being up there, but...
What's the audience?
But I was sort of like, what the hell? Huh?
How many people watch that live? 1 billion people.
I was actually feeling remarkably calm because I was convinced myself that I didn't want to look back, like when I'm 80, hopefully, and go, you know, I just was too nervous to enjoy it. I thought, I'll do it once, you know, I'll never get a chance to do it again. And so just before I went on, Valdez, the stage manager, was there, and he goes, 30 seconds, and I all of a sudden felt myself go into slow motion, like I'm looking into that abyss, and I just started to feel this anxiety come over me. 20 seconds, and I'm looking down, he goes, 15 seconds, he goes, good luck out there, Mr. Jackman, there's only 1 billion people watching, you'll be fine. And I remember, and I laugh, if you ever look at the tape, I walk out on stage laughing, looking into the wings. If it wasn't for Valdez, I think I might have just vomited and never gone on, you know. So.
Anything I say is going to pale into insignificance.
Yeah, where's your Oscars?
How do you follow Jackman hosting the Oscars?
That school play you did.
That school, yeah, that lemonade stand.
Third Shepherd from the Left, 1995, was a big moment.
Watch this guy, number 2 in the world. And he knew what he was doing.
You obviously have to do a lot of falling. Talk to me about the art of falling and doing it correctly.
The truth is, anyone who signs up to be an actor, if you're not prepared to make a fool of yourself kind of on a daily basis, you'll never be any good, because there's no real right or wrong. You're always taking on something you've never done before if you're doing it right, I think. So there has to be an element of going for it, taking a risk, and thankfully having someone like Dex who's like, that was really bad. Let's go again.
And if someone's not really going for it, then we go,
And these two are the masters of that, I've got to say, because it wasn't always easy, you know. Yeah, Hugh, hold them up above your head, and then just say a little bit of "we" came out, and it's like, this is my day job.
And I think a little bit of "we" just came out of me for that.
Hey, Tiger!
All right, so Tony says the movie is super cute and is full of uplifting, inspirational, and funny moments. Eddie the Eagle is out in theaters now and is rated PG-13. Now, before we drop the curtain on movies, let's get a look at what else is hitting the big screen this weekend. Monsters come in many forms, and they're coming to our local theaters. In 10 Cloverfield Lane, the movie stars John Goodman and Mary Elizabeth Winstead. And then the quintessential playboy meets his rival, and she turns his world upside down. At least that is what happens in The Perfect Match. And then up next, a new assignment forces a spy to work with his brother. The action and comedy that ensue is exactly what you would expect from the film that stars Sacha Baron Cohen. And then lastly, Helen Mirren and the late Alan Rickman star in The Eye in the Sky. All great movies, and all are available to watch this weekend.
Up next, we go beyond the silver screen and bring you a show that is performed live on ice. Coming up, your chance to see Frozen when Disney on Ice comes to Germain Arena. In just a few minutes, we'll have your cue to call.